I'm Brady Smith. I'm from Goodman Oaks. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank y'all who weren't at Harding for coming down to listen to us preach. We all really appreciate that. It means a lot to us. So let's go into a discussion about running from God and the way of Jonah did it and how we can relate to that. So God told Jonah to go to the city of Nineveh and preach against it. But Jonah ran away from the Lord. He found a ship that was headed to Tarshish, and he got on it. The Lord sent a terrible storm, and it was so violent that the ship wasn't going to survive. The ship's breaking up, and it's just not going well. So they get Jonah, and they ask him, "What should we do to you to make this storm calm down?" And Jonah says, "Pick me up and throw me in." So they did exactly that. The sea instantly calms down. This big raging sea, tearing apart the boats, just clear skies, pretty blue sea. So then the Lord provides a huge fish to swallow Jonah. And he was in the belly of this fish for 3 days and then 3 nights. And if you want the storms in your life to calm down, then stop running from God. Some of us don't understand how good God is, because that fish wasn't a punishment. It was a provision, because without that fish, then he would have drowned. He wouldn't have made it. And I'd much rather be in the belly of a fish than dead. So we need to imagine how God is working on our lives, even when we don't want him to. When we don't want to work it out, and we want to do our own things, we have to understand and just at least trust this plan he has for us, because we're not going to be here for long. We're just passing through this life, and oftentimes we have a calling that we're neglecting, and we're just always avoiding these spiritual callings to get up on Sunday and serve communion, or just read a scripture, lead a prayer, lead a devotional at camp, anything. Just like Jonah, we're often receiving a calling or a nudge from God to do something that makes us uncomfortable. So this can be things like speaking up, volunteering, just helping out, evangelizing, helping your friends. We run from callings because of fear. Fear of being judged by our peers, the people around us. People around us, or maybe even doubt. But Jonah's story reminds us to examine ourselves and trust that God always equips us for these challenges and trials that he's going to put us through. So we're always going to be prepared for what he calls us to do. Jonah thought he could escape by going to Tarshish. But what he didn't realize is that God is simply everywhere. And that oftentimes we try to escape through addictions and stuff just as simple as moving away. Maybe changing your religion. Or you felt too judged in the church, so you just left it. However, these fixes are just temporary. And our permanent solution comes from God's help, not leaving his help. Jonah's disobedience didn't affect him, or just affect him. It affected everyone on that ship. And oftentimes, when we're running from God, we bring storms into other people's lives and discourage them.
Yes.
They might run with us. Running from God will harm our relationships and create negative environments around us. The story helps us to understand that it's not all just us. Our bad decisions and what we do affects others. People who look up to us might be like, "Oh, he's doing this, so let's just follow him." Even after running, Jonah had a second chance. This just shows how much grace he offers. He's willing to forgive and redirect us when we turn back. When we turn back to him. Like Jonah, we can confess and learn. Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh because he didn't think they were worthy. Sometimes God calls us to love and serve people who are difficult to love and serve. And sometimes they're different from us. They have different beliefs. They have different just schedules, way of running around. Jonah's story challenges us to overcome these issues and embrace the discomfort of serving others for a greater purpose. The story of Jonah is a reminder that running from God is not the answer. Instead, we should strive to listen to these calls that he calls us to do. We need to trust his guidance and embrace the opportunities he gives to make a difference in the world. What I'm trying to say is, running from God is not going to get us anywhere. And if you're struggling with just one thing that's holding you back, and you know you should be doing, run to God. Don't run away. If you're ashamed, don't run. He can help us be unashamed. Get out of these dark moments that we're in. help us. And let's think. We run away, we create storms in other people's lives that can bring them down these same bad roads that we're going down. We need to stop running from God. It just makes it worse. Instead, we should run to God and encourage others to do the same.